you're good.
All right. Morning all, we're up here at Devil's Den. I'm sitting up here on the rocks. I remember when I was a kid, my dad always used to yell at me not to sit up on these rocks so high off the ground. Afraid I'd fall and break my neck. I'm not falling and I'm not breaking my neck today, y'all. You might have noticed more improved quality here. That's because I got my hands on a GoPro. Actually, it's my husband's. I stole it. Alright, so Devil's Den. If you look behind me, just over that way, you will see Little Round Top. Unfortunately, we can't get up there today because, as you can sort of see, it's under construction. No one's allowed up there. So, I'm going to do like a combination talk today. We'll talk about Devil's Den and Little Round Top. Now, you might wonder what the significance of these areas are. Well, I will tell you. This was the end of the Union Line. It formed like a big fish hook that went from here all the way up to Cemetery Hill. The Union Line was supposed to end up there, right? I don't know if you remember from a previous video when I did a little bit of talk over at the Peach Orchard and Trossel Farm, but I talked a little bit about General Dan Sickles of the 3rd Corps, the Union Army of the Potomac. He decided to move his corps forward in a move that made General Meade very angry and could have potentially set the Union Army up for complete total defeat, but yet by some miracle it did not. But anyway, the Union Army was supposed to be up here. It wound up here after Sickles decided to move his corps forward. Now, this spot was actually a Confederate victory. They were able, the Confederate Army was able to take these rocks. They positioned a lot of sharpshooters and snipers up here on these rocks. As you can see, I'll stand up and give you a little better view. This is a really, really good spot for snipers because as you can see, these tall rocks are good for hiding in. They can sit up here on these. They can sit up top here and snipe at the army as they're coming through here. Right. So yeah. They can hide, they can snipe at. So this was a pretty good spot for some sharpshooters. I don't know if you've seen the famous photo of the Confederate sharpshooter, but technically that was a staged photo, but it was taken here. It was staged, but yes, the part of sharpshooters being here was in fact true. All right. So, yeah, they took these rocks, but that was it. Nothing else. Little Round Top, Peach Orchard, narrow Union victory. Wheat Field, yes. Triangular Field, which we might hit up later because it's not too far from here, yes. So, anyway, now I'll go into a little bit about the significance of Little Round Top, right across the way over here. Now, Little Round Top was the end of the Union line.
Definitely just had a cramp.
At the beginning of the second day of the battle, the Union Army's chief engineer, a gentleman by the name of General G.K. Warren, came up to Little Round Top, and he noticed not only the strategic significance of the area, it was the high ground. The high ground was the most desirable back then. But also, there was no one up there. No one up there except for one signal guy with the flag up there. He saw the problem. The rebel army is probably going to be coming to take that. If I can see its significance and usefulness, surely they will too. So they're going to send men up here, right? Logically, yes. So, he calls for So men to go up there. The first ones to go up there would be the 140th New York, Colonel Patty O'Rourke's men. Mobbed some Texans on the other side of the hill. Hand-to-hand combat, actually, just smashed right into them, knocked them down. But the most famous story, popularized by the movie Gettysburg, is the charge of the 20th Maine. How many of you have heard of that? If you've heard of it, let me know in the comments below, okay? All right. So, the 20th Maine, commanded by a very famous colonel who I'm sure you've all heard of, a college professor by the name of Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain. Yeah. Interesting fact about him. He originally wanted to enlist in the Union Army, but the college he worked for, Bowdoin College, would not let him. So what does he do? He decides to take a sabbatical and not tell anybody where he was going or what he was doing. He took a sabbatical and got a commission as colonel. Probably because of his college degree, which is something they still do in the Army, I believe. But anyway, I digress. Anyway, he was on the very end of the Union line and was given the order to hold this position at all hazards. I'm sure those of you in the military who are watching would know what that means, right? That means that there was no retreating, there was no withdrawing. Fight to the last man. So, charging up the hill. All right. From around here, up here on Big Round Top, okay, was a regiment of Alabamans under the command of Colonel Oates. He too saw the strategic benefits of Little Round Top, right? So he tried to take it. Colonel Chamberlain's men were positioned in kind of an angle, like a somewhat 90-degree angle, give or take. His company A and company B. Now, these Alabamans kept hitting them again and again and again. 20th Maine was running out of ammunition. The men were getting tired. They were getting wounded. They were taking casualties. On the other side, Colonel Oates' men, having been on top of the Big Round Top for however long, they were getting thirsty, they were hot, they were tired too. They still kept pummeling Chamberlain's men up here. Chamberlain's men were running out of ammunition. But they still have to hold that spot at all hazards. Oh no, what are they going to do? So Colonel Chamberlain, granted he came to his position from being a college professor, an academic. What does he know about military things, right? He didn't go to West Point, right? But he's a very intelligent man. So, what does he do? He reads, he studies, he learns, right? He learned this one old textbook maneuver that was not really used much during the time of the Civil War because they were upgrading. Their weaponry was upgrading. This move is called the bayonet charge. Now, bayonet charge was not really used that often because of the distance, rate, and accuracy of the new muzzle-loading rifles, right? There wasn't as much close quarters combat. But they ran out of ammunition, so he decided to try this textbook maneuver. Ordered his men to fix bayonets. One of his companies would stay in position, the other one would swing down upon the advancing, bless you, Confederates. Now, think about this for a second. If you saw a bunch of angry men running at you with their bayonets drawn, would you want to stick around and see what's going to happen next? No, you would run. And that's exactly what the Alabamans did. They ran. Prisoners were taken. They retreated. They were done. And that was the victory. But there are some would say that that was the biggest victory. Chamberlain alone was responsible for holding Little Round Top against the coming rebel forces. That is not entirely true. You only say that because of the movie. Of course, everybody loves an underdog story, right? Everybody loves a story of people overcoming odds in the face of such great challenges, right? So it makes for a good story. Though personally, I think the Battle of the 140th New York mobbing into those Texans would have been a good story too, but I digress. So that, my loyal YouTube viewers, is the story of Little Round Top and Devil's Den. I'm going to turn my camera around here so you can see around here. This is a really nice area. Devil's Den at one point actually used to be a vacation type destination for families even before the Civil War. People would come up here to picnic, enjoy the scenery, climb the rocks, that kind of thing. They did do a big rehabilitation project up here. Luckily, we can still climb on these rocks and sit on them because there was, oh, yeah, see here, here's one thing that they put up was this footbridge because somebody got his foot caught in there. Apparently it wasn't a very pretty sight. But all right, I'm going to turn my camera around from me over to the landscape. So yeah, enjoy. As you can see, we are actually a bit higher elevation up here. So I'll take you across the bridge here. All right. There we go. So you can see this is a very beautiful area. They're still doing some work up here. You can see the fencing area. They're still doing some work up here. Don't know exactly what they're doing, but there you go. Alright, so that's Devil's Den for you. Hi, I'm back. That's Devil's Den for you. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye for now.